Hi there. How are you doing? Welcome to another video here at Tina TV PH.
Have you ever found yourself dwelling too much on a particular problem? With all the things that life throws at us, it is natural that we find ways to solve our troubles. However, there comes a point that thinking and worrying about it becomes counterintuitive, and could do more harm than good. When you think too much, there is a tendency for you to drown in your thoughts, and for your problems to seem much bigger than they actually are. Overthinking could lead to depression, and could also affect your physical health. While it is true that some personalities are more prone to overthink than others, everyone can overcome overthinking. Of course, seeking professional help remains the best way to manage this, especially when overthinking has already significantly affected your way of life. Aside from getting help from experts, here are 10 other things you could practice to avoid or manage overthinking. Number 1. Start paying attention when you're thinking too much. Before you can put an end to overthinking, you have to recognize when you're doing it. Here's how to know when you're overthinking. You are overthinking when you are not solution focused. You need to know the difference between overthinking and problem solving. Overthinking is about dwelling on the problem, while problem solving involves looking for a solution. You're overthinking when you find yourself replaying a conversation in your head repeatedly or imagining something bad happening many times. If you're indecisive about everything from what to eat for dinner to which hotel you should book, you might be overthinking things. Overthinking sometimes involves beating yourself up for the decisions you already made. Number 2. Realize that you cannot control everything. Make it a habit to distinguish between solvable and unsolvable worries. If the worry is solvable, start brainstorming. Make a list of all the possible solutions you can think of. Try not to get too hung up on finding the perfect solution. Focus on the things you have the power to change, rather than the circumstances or realities beyond your control. After you've evaluated your options, make a plan of action. Once you have a plan and start doing something about the problem, you'll feel much less anxious. If the worry is not solvable, accept the uncertainty. If you're a chronic worrier, the vast majority of your anxious thoughts probably fall in this camp. Worrying is often a way we try to predict what the future has in store, a way to prevent unpleasant surprises and control the outcome. The problem is, it doesn't work. Thinking about all the things that could go wrong doesn't make life any more predictable. Focusing on worst-case scenarios will only keep you from enjoying the good things you have in the present. To stop worrying, tackle your need for certainty and immediate answers. Number 3. Listen to music. Music has shown to greatly reduce anxiety, and it is widely used in therapy to reduce stress and induce a feeling of calm in listeners. Singing along encourages the mind to remember the lyrics to the songs, and this would also take our minds off the bothersome situations. Dancing and grooving to the music also helps, as it is shown to alleviate stress and relax the mind. Music is one of many ways for coping with overthinking. The key is to distract ourselves with meaningful activities that would clear our mind. With this, we are less likely to be confined by the thoughts that have been bothering and wearing us down. We can then move on and continue working on things with a fresh mind, without the burden of overthinking situations that we cannot control. 4. You should go easy on yourself. You're not perfect, and you don't have to be. That's more than a motivational speech, it's a reality. Perfectionism is often linked with overthinking and anxiety, but the two actually work in a vicious cycle. People often pursue perfection in order to deal with worry and anxiety, but that tends to make them even more anxious because it's impossible to be perfect. It's not easy to admit and accept imperfections, but when you realize no one is perfect, you can take baby steps toward letting go of your worrying thoughts and give yourself some slack. Number 5. Change your view of fear. Sometimes when your mind is running wild, and has created disaster scenarios about what could happen if you do something, Whether you're afraid because you failed in the past, or you're fearful of trying or overgeneralizing some other failure, remember that just because things did not work out before does not mean that has to be the outcome every time. Remember, every opportunity is a new beginning, a place to start again. Number 6. Get plenty of good quality sleep. This is one of the most commonly neglected factors when it comes to keeping a positive mindset and not get lost in negative thought habits. Because when you haven't slept enough, then you become more vulnerable to worrying and pessimism, to not thinking as clearly as you usually do, and to getting lost in thoughts going around and around in your mind as you overthink. If you can't sleep, a better solution is to wind down for an extra 20 to 30 minutes on the couch with, for example, some reading. This helps to go to sleep faster and, in the end, get more sleep. Number 7. Keep the focus on active problem solving. Dwelling on your problems isn't helpful, but looking for solutions is. Ask yourself what steps you can take to learn from a mistake or avoid a future problem. Instead of asking why something happened, ask yourself what you can do about it. When you know how to get started with taking action consistently each day, then you'll procrastinate less by overthinking. Setting deadlines and a good tone for the day are two things that have helped me to become much more a person of action. Number 8. You can distract yourself from yourself. When you overthink things, those thoughts and worries start to take over your mind. You can fight back against them by immediately doing something else that engages your brain. This could include writing in a journal, doing 20 push-ups, reading an article, or calling up your best friend. Whatever you can do to get yourself out of that moment of worry, take action and do it. You might be surprised at how quickly the thoughts pass through when you don't give them the power to take over. Number 9. Spend more of your time with people who do not overthink things. Your social environment plays a big part. And not just the people and groups close to you in real life, but also what you read, listen to and watch. The blogs, books, forums, movies, podcasts and music in your life. So think about if there are any sources in your life, close by or further away, that encourages and tends to create more overthinking in your mind. And think about what people or sources that has the opposite effect on you. Find ways to spend more of your time and attention with the people and input that have a positive effect on your thinking, and less on the influences that tends to strengthen your overthinking habit. Number 10. You should practice gratitude. Having an attitude of gratitude is more than just a cheesy saying they told you at summer camp. It's a necessity for someone who overthinks everything. The benefits of gratitude range from physical to psychological. It can improve your self-esteem and increase your overall mental strength. By keeping a daily journal of things you're grateful for, you'll have something to reference and look back on in moments that feel overwhelming, or when you find yourself drowning with worry. Gratitude can give you a different perspective on things, so the situations you're overthinking about become less important. When you take the time to actually think about what you're thankful for, you might find that there are fewer things to worry about. And there you have it. We hope that with these tips, everyone will be able to fight back the urge to overthink, and get back to making the most of their lives. Remember that while it is imperative to think before we act, we should not be crippled by our thinking to the point of inaction. Do you have other tips you could share that could help other overthinkers? Feel free to leave a comment below. Also, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you and see you on the next video.